everybody, welcome to the show! I'm Wolfie Bane, your host for today, and we are back playing a bit of, what's everybody playing? Are we playing something today? It's really hard to tell. I am going to be picking my favorite Pokemon today, essentially, or at least ranking them. I saw someone doing this, like last week, and I thought, oh, that'd be fun. That looks a fun thing. Also realized my webcam is in the way of a lot. Am I gonna have to change the resolution further? Okay. We'll figure this out. Basically, I found this. I saw a person. I'll figure it out. I saw a person, essentially, what was it? It was MJ. It was M&J TV. That was it. They did this apparently a while ago, and I saw the video and I went, "Oh, that looks really cool. I wonder if I can find that whatever they used to rank them." I was pretty sure it was a site, and yeah, I found it. So I decided I'm going to. You know what? I've been meaning to do one of these for ages. Also got Cynthia's music play, because of course I do. I just googled it on YouTube. It was literally the first one that came up. This is going to be on loop. So apologies if I'm causing you PTSD. But basically, we are going to be I'm going to be picking my favorites list from every generation, every type, every legend, gimmick, form, starters, the whole shebang, and then I'll be picking it in the end. And then there's this little weird section at the bottom, which has some pretty cool stuff as well. And that's what we're going to do today. You know, fairly simple. I'll actually, you know what? Webcam. I can't make it any smaller. Oh, wait, I can. There we are. We got really small. We got really small Wolfie today. Hi. Hello. I'll put it back after I've gotten through the ones here. But basically, the categories are Gens 1 through 9 with all time, I think, at the bottom. Yeah, with the podium at the bottom. Then we have every single Pokemon type. Then we have starter, gimmick form, legend, and favorite. I'm gonna try my best not to put the same Pokemon if it's a dual type. I'm gonna try my best not to put them in the same categories. I can't promise it, but I'll do my best. Basically, if there's I'll try. Basically, if there's a Pokemon that is in two types, it's my favorite Pokemon just outright of the generation. I'm gonna try to only put it in one, essentially, so we get more, you know, because I like a lot of Pokemon. I've actually was trying out some OU on Pokemon Showdown earlier today, and I found a really fun team that I built myself, which has so far caused many people to have mental breakdowns, I'm pretty sure. Praise be to the hat. Is all I can say. Also, finally had a good chance to try out Skeledirge, like, properly. Which is very fun. So, let's get started, shall we? Gen 1 normal types. I'm pretty sure I know. Ooh. This is tough. It's between two. Right? Gen 1... I did start with Gen 1 by technicality. I never had a Game Boy Advance. Not because I'm too young, because I just never had a Game Boy Advance. My parents got me an original DS. So, I did have... I started with Fire Red. But I'm old enough that I could have played Red. And I knew a lot of people who played Red. I just didn't. Back in the day. On the Game Boy. I'm, like, barely old enough, I think. But yeah, I'm of the generation that mainly started with Fire Red. Fire Red Leaf Green, so. I do have some very, very fun ones. So there's... For me, it's between two. For Gen 1 normal type. I kind of like not Slacking, Snorlax. Snorlax is alright. I didn't really enjoy using him when I tried to use him, though. So for me, it is between Tauros and Eevee. And it's close. I like both. Do I like Eevee more than Tauros? Eevee is very cute. I really like Eevee, but nah. I'm gonna go with Tauros. I like Tauros. Fire type, there is no contest here. It just isn't. There is not a contest. I will say, Kanto has some of the best fire types ever. In my opinion. It has 3 of the best fire lines of all time. It has the Charizard line, which obviously, my favorites. Charizard is one of my favorite Pokemon outright. Charizard is almost certain to be the favorite on the end, by the way. I absolutely love Charizard. It's my original starter. It's my favorite starter to this day. So you know who's going there. I really like it. The only thing they could have made it better is if it was actually Dragon type. That's it. I genuinely love Charizard. I know it's not very good in terms of actual competitive nowadays, but I love Charizard still. And I can make it work. It's one of those. Everyone loves Charizard. But Ninetales is fantastic, and Arcanine is fantastic. Genuinely, I actually wanted to use a Ninetales in a playthrough because I hadn't gotten the chance to use a Ninetales because I prefer Charizard and Arcanine. I say Ninetales is one of the best fire types they've ever made. And it's like my 3rd choice in Kanto. Rapidash, I've never been a huge Rapidash guy. Magmar was kind of cool. I'm not a huge fan. Flareon, you're terrible, but I love you. And Moltres looks kind of dumb. We'll get more onto Moltres later. I like using Moltres in competitive. As I was fighting recently, I was trying Moltres in UU, and it does work. Mostly just, it is the thing that burns. That's basically it. Yeah, Moltres is kind of fun, but it wasn't even comparable. Charizard's my boy. Gen 1 Water type. This is between 2. Genuinely. There is my original favorite, and there is my... So basically, this is between 2 again. It's between Gyarados and Vaporeon. I love all the evolutions. I'll get that out. So the evolutions are always going to be in my top sections. Pretty much unanimously. I love Gyarados a lot. I love Tentacruel as well. I like Cloyster. I love Seadra. We'll get to Seadra later, though. Seadra, you're not quite cool enough, but we're probably getting Kingdra later. In fact, we probably aren't. Kingdra's going to be on my favorite list, I'm pretty sure, but I think it's going to be in Dragon in Gen 2 because it's the only Dragon. But I genuinely like Kingdra. But yeah, for a good while, Gyarados was my favorite water type. My original used water type, though, and what I prefer using, probably, is Vaporeon. So I'm going to go with Vaporeon. Did you know? And all that, but no, I genuinely just like Vaporeon. Blastoise is cool as well, but I'm a Charizard boy, so I'm not the biggest for that. Now then, grass type. I'm fairly sure most people know what my grass type is going to be for Kanto. Because I am a big fan of the Onion. I love the Oddish line so much. It's between Oddish and Vileplume. I like Vileplume. I do. Venusaur's cool. I get it if you like Venusaur. My opinion, worst of the 3 starters for Kanto, but all fantastic starters. If you pick any of them, I won't judge. I have my favorite, but all 3 are fantastic. So Venusaur's cool. I like Charizard more, but we're going with Vileplume, my favorite Gen 1 grass type. I love Vileplume. I've used Vileplume in almost every single Kanto playthrough I've ever used. I think the only one I've not was genuinely my Monotype run. Genuinely. I'm pretty sure the only time I've not used a Vileplume in Kanto is on my Monotype run, which was Ground. Which is the only reason. So yeah, we gotta go that. Electric type? I'm not a huge fan of electric types in general. Yeah, I just don't really use them. There's some electric types which I really like. But for Gen 1... Who's texting me? Yeah, it's Dad. I'll get back to that. For Gen 1, I'm not a huge fan of any of these, really. Electabuzz, I guess. I kind of like Electabuzz. It's alright. I like shiny Electabuzz. I think it looks very good. Ice type. This isn't really that close. It's Lapras. I like Lapras. Articuno I like as well, but I like Lapras. Always kind of have. Fighting type, it's Machamp, right? I'm not a huge fan of any early... I've actually said this before. Fighting types, for me, got a lot better later on. I don't really like many of the early gen fighting types. Pretty much at all. For this one, it's between Machamp and Hitmonlee. They're both alright, but... I'm more likely to give a proper shot to Machamp. I've not particularly used one either, weirdly. The friends I had when I was younger and playing through didn't live close enough, so I never really got to use one. Gen 1 Poison type. Now, there's a shit ton of Poison types that I really like. I'll say... Also, my god, does Kanto have a lot of Poison types. This one is between... Because of, obviously, Vileplume, already taken. Tentacruel's a good shout. I like Tentacruel a lot. It used to be, but the main ones for me. Gengar, you're going in Ghost type eventually. Like, I'm not. Muck's alright. But here's the bit. For me, this is between 3 Pokemon. Oh yeah, Beedrill's cool as well. Beedrill was on my original team. For me, this is between 3 though. Arbok, because Arbok's cool. Nidoking and Nidoqueen. Now, Arbok, I love you. You're amazing looking. I love snakes. I'm a huge fan of cobras particularly. They're one of my favorite types of snake. So that's an obvious first choice. But when it comes down to it, I've never really enjoyed... I've never had a huge amount of fun using an Arbok. So, I love you. I hope you get a variant form in the future. I would love to get a Arbok, a regional version Arbok, at some point in the future. Maybe maybe get Poison Dragon Arbok in the next game. I don't know. I think that would be really cool. Or Poison Dark type. That'd be another cool one. But, yeah, no. So, I also, in Kanto, I will pretty much always have a Nidoking or Nidoqueen for at least a good chunk of the playthrough. Nidoking has always disappointed me. I think I prefer the design overall. I kind of like the big bulky monstery look. But Nidoqueen has always provided very good. She's always been good. Always been reliable. I've always had a lot more luck with Queen over King. So we're going with Nidoqueen. Ground type. This one's actually kind of tricky for me. So, Kanto ground types. Obviously, Nidoking and Nidoqueen are there. Which are fun. Golem. I'm sorry, Golem. You're just bad. I tried. I really tried on my monotype run. I've never used the Golem before. And then I remembered why I hadn't used the Golem before. It's bad. So it's between 2. Marowak was on my original team. And I've always loved Marowak. So Marowak's getting one hell of an honorable mention here. It is really close. But I love Rhydon. I love the Rhyhorn line. I like rhinos. I'm a big rhino fan. Generally, they're really cool. And I just love this line. And also, Rhyperior was an absolute beast in my monotype run. I'd used a Rhydon before, and I enjoyed it. I'd never used a Rhyperior, and Rhyperior exceeded my expectations. And I had good expectations for it. So we're going to Rhydon. Flying type. Now then, this is interesting. Flying type in Kanto is cracked. Obviously, Charizard. Charizard's in Fire type. Not getting the thing because it's in Fire type. It is my favorite flying type in Kanto, though. Dragonite. It is a dragon, but everybody knows, from me, Dragonite is one of my least favorite dragons. I don't really like Dragonite that much. So, no. The legendary birds, I'm not a huge fan. Oh, the Kanto legendary birds are all okay. Articuno is my favorite one. Moltres, I like using Moltres. Zapdos, I hate Zapdos. I don't like normal Zapdos. It's good. Is it good? Yes. I don't like using ordinary Zapdos. I never really have. I think it looks stupid. Sorry if you love Zapdos. We'll get out. Don't worry. I'll be glowing. I'll give some glowing reviews of Zapdos later on. But for Kanto flying type, for me, really, it's between two. If we're not having a Charizard. Also, Pidgeot. Pidgeot's fine. I kind of like Pidgeot. I've never been a huge fan overall, though. For me, it is between Aerodactyl and Gyarados. Now, here's the thing. I think Aerodactyl's my favorite rock type in Kanto. So I'll put Gyarados for flying. I do like Gyarados a lot. It has been on it's been on a lot of my teams, just generally. I like it. Psychic type. Honestly, this Psychic type, it's between three. It's between Alakazam, Mewtwo, and Mew. I like Mewtwo. I'm not a huge fan, though. I'm not as big a fan as a lot of people are. I think it's a really cool Pokemon. But I've never been the biggest Mewtwo guy myself. Mew, different story entirely. But Mew, I'm going to put, for reference, legendaries in the future, they very well might take a slot. But I think I like Alakazam. I do. I like Alakazam a lot. So it's going to be Alakazam. It probably should be Mew. Actually, is it Mew? It's Mew. No, it's Mew. I like Alakazam a lot. As Alakazam, very honorable mention. I love Mew, though. I really love Mew. Bug type, it's Scyther. I love you, Beedrill. Beedrill, you're awesome. Butterfree, you're great. Parasect, you're weird. Pinsir, I wish you were better, Pinsir. I want Pinsir to be better. Give us a Bug Steel Pinsir in a future game, please. I really like Pinsir, but I love Scyther. I'm a big Scyther fan. Rock type. Yeah, it is Aerodactyl. I like Kabutops quite a lot, and I like Rhydon as well, as I've talked about. But I genuinely love, usually in Kanto, the Pokemon I have Fly on is an Aerodactyl. Admittedly, I barely ever actually used it in Kanto. I think I actually properly used an Aerodactyl for the first time in my playthrough on Pokemon Mo, which you can't see that stream, but that was the thing. But yeah, I like Aerodactyl. My favorite are the original fossils, by a lot. Ghost type is Gengar. I love Haunter as well, but now Dragon type. My favorite type overall is Dragon. Everyone knows it is. I don't like Dragonite. But that doesn't mean I don't like Dragonite's line. Dragonair is an amazing Pokemon, and Dratini is incredibly cute. And Dragonite is, for me, just above the base mark average for Pokemon. It is one of my least favorite dragons, but it's still a dragon, and I love dragons. So, we are going with Dragonair, because I like Dragonair. Dark type, there aren't any dark types in Gen 1, so let's go the Kabutops skeleton, kind of cool. Steel types, Magneton, I guess. Fairy types, you know what? I love Jigglypuff. I've never been a Clefable guy myself. I've never been a Wigglytuff guy, but I like Jigglypuff. Jigglypuff's got so much personality. Starter is Charizard. Honorable mention to Eevee. Gimmick form. Now, gimmicks are interesting, because I have only used, I think, one. I think I've only used one gimmick form. At these because I haven't played Gen 8 yet. I will, at some point. I am planning on it. So I have never used the Gigantamaxes, and I have played through... I've not finished Pokemon X yet, but I do like Pokemon X. And I've got to be honest, I'm picking the Dragon. I'm picking Charizard X, because I like Charizard X a lot. Charizard X, to me, is the typing that Charizard should have been originally. I am very much a... Charizard should have been Fire Dragon to begin with. Would it have been broken? Yes, but they didn't give a shit about balance in Gen 1. Favorite Legendary? My favorite Legendary is Mew. It just is. And my favorite Pokemon of Gen 1, That's one hell of a lineup, by the way. But my favorite Pokemon from Gen 1 is my boy Charizard. Now, Gen 2. Gen 2 normal types. Now, normal types in Gen 2 are interesting. I think I've said this before. Of the gens I've played through, I'd say that Gen 2 is my least known. That's not to say that there isn't anything, but it's Gen 2 is not my favorite. I know a lot of people love it. It has some of my favorite Pokemon, and don't get me wrong. But I've not been the biggest fan overall. There are gens that I am a big fan of a lot of other gens, essentially. Gen 2 has a lot of, like, middling Pokemon for me. But there's some I really like. For normal types, honestly, probably Noctowl. I like Noctowl. Noctowl's cool. So, fire types. Gen 1 fire type, I gotta go for my boy. My starter of choice, Typhlosion. Love my Eruption Typhlosion. Typhlosion is a really good payoff over Quilava. Quilava is... I like Quilava, it's cute, but it's my favorite star. I'm a fire starter guy myself, generally. But Typhlosion, I'm a big fan of Typhlosion. Water type? Yeah. So, honorable mention to my actual favorite water type in Gen 2, Kingdra. But you're the only dragon in the gen, so you're being saved for dragon. However, my favorite of all water starters is Gen 2. I like Fraligator. Fraligator is the closest I've come to picking the water starter in any gen. I've never picked a water starter. I might in Legends Arceus when I play that, because I'm gonna get around to play Legends Arceus as well. But I'm not really I'm not really a water starter guy. But Fraligator is cool. I really, really like Fraligator, and I need to use it at some point. Favorite grass type? It is, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. Celebi is my favorite mythical Pokemon. It just is. So we're going with Celebi. I love Celebi. Now, that's being said, I love Meganium as well. I love the Chikorita line. It's so cute. I like Bellossom a lot. I quite like Jumpluff, to be honest. There's some really good grass types in Gen 2. But I love Celebi. I don't know what we're going to put in Psychic. Oh, no, I know exactly what we're putting in Psychic. Cool. Electric type. It's fucking electric. Oh, actually, no. There is one of my favorite electric types of all time is in this. I love the Mareep line. Lantern's cool, I guess. Pichu is fine. Electric. I really like Raikou as well. Raikou is another really good one. But I'm going with my Nylon Sheep. I love Ampharos so much. I really like Ampharos. It's genuinely one of my favorite electric types. Ice type. Now, this is actually a tricky one, because I like Sneasel a lot. But I also like Piloswine. I think I'll go Piloswine because I used to prefer it overall. I like my little Pigu, my little fluff ball. Fighting type. I don't like any of these. Heracross, I guess, because I don't like Tyrogue or Hitmontop a lot more than I dislike Heracross, but I don't really like Heracross either. Poison type. This one's actually tricky because I love Crobat, but I also love Ariados. I'm a big spider fan. Probably Crobat, right? Yeah. Oh, actually, what flying types are there? Yeah, okay, we are. Yeah, we're going with Crobat. I like Ariados as well. Honorable mention to Crobat. Actually, Ariados is probably gonna be Scizors in there, isn't it? Yeah, I'm sorry. Ground type. Now, my favorite ground type, I don't mind Steelix now. I have finally had a good Steelix. I was just getting really unlucky with them. Gligar, I like. Donphan, I like. But, also Piloswine, another honorable mention. But it's already the ice types. But I'm going to be honest. If if you know my favoritism for Pokemon, there's one type of Pokemon that is going to be in most of its categories. Can you guess who? Yeah, we're going Pupitar. I have, in my opinion, Gen 2 has 2 Pokemon above all the others. 2 Pokemon in Gen 2 are 2 of my favorite of all time, one of which is Celebi. Can you guess the other? Flying type, I like a few of these. I like Yanma. I think it's very cool. But we are going to go with my favorite of the legendaries of these 2, actually. I like Ho-Ho a lot, but I really like Lugia. I've always liked Lugia's design. So I'll go with Lugia. Psychic type, another honorable mention. But here's the bit. Psychic types in Gen 2. I don't like Xatu. I'm not a Xatu guy. I'm not a Slowking guy. Wobbuffet's fine. Girafarig, a friend of mine's a huge fan of Girafarig. I hate Smooching with a vengeance. Lugia, already taken in flying. Celebi, already taken in grass. I really like Espeon, and you know I like Espeon. So Espeon is one of my favorite evolutions. It's up there. It might be my 3rd favorite. Is it my 3rd favorite? It's probably... Nah, 4th. It's my 4th favorite. I think it's comfortably my 4th favorite. Espeon. I really, really like it. I like most of the evolutions. The only evolution I'm a huge fan of is Jolteon. And even then, I used it yesterday, and it's fine. But I don't like its design as much as the others. The others are cuter. Bug type, it's Scizor. It's not even close. Actually, no. Honorable mention again to Ariados, but it's Scizor. I really like Scizor. Rock type. Now, rock type is going to be an interesting one for me because I've said before, I have a rock type above all others, but I have to actually, but I'm trying not to put them in different categories. And he's going in here. So, my favorite rock type that I will go... Actually, no, I'm going to put you in rock type. Because there's other dark types I prefer to the other rock types. Shout out to Corsola and to Shuckle. I think Shuckle's kind of cute. But I genuinely like Corsola. I'm actually, if I get either of the types that I want in the future monotype run that I'm going to do in Pokemon, I want rock or water for Johto. And Corsola will be on the team for either of those, which is a good reason. I really like Corsola. I think it's very, very cute. But in rock type, we're going, my boy, my favorite Pokemon from Gen 2, Tyranitar. You all know it. I love that Pokemon so much. Tyranitar is one of my favorite Pokemon of all time. It really is. I love Tyranitar so much. It was one of my OG favorites back in the day. Back in the day, it was my 2nd favorite Pokemon when I was younger. Next to, it only got beaten out by Charizard back in the day. Now, Tyranitar has been beaten out from its, like, really high rank, from its, like, absolute peak rankings, but it's still really high up, and has probably been one of my most used Pokemon of all time. I use Tyranitar so much, and I love it. Ghost type, Mischievous, it's the only option. But I actually like Mischievous. I think Mischievous is so cute. I vastly prefer it to Mismagius. I like Mismagius as well, but I like the design of Mischievous more. As you'll see with Fluttermane, who probably is going to get a vote later on as well. Dragon. Yeah, Kingdra. Kingdra is one of my favorite water types of all time. I like it. It's a water dragon, which is cool. I always like the Seadra line generally as well. But I particularly like Kingdra. For Dark type, okay, so I love Dark type and I love Fire type. I've never been the biggest Houndoom guy. Not that I dislike it, but since I usually pick the Fire starter, I've never really had, like, the most use, really, for Houndoom. Hello, Rue. Yeah, I know you're a big fan of Houndoom, don't worry. I really like Umbreon. My favorite Dark type in Gen 2 is Tyranitar, again. But I do like Umbreon. I like Umbreon as well, so we'll give it Umbreon because I'm trying to limit my double-ups as much as possible. But it should be Tyranitar, just as a heads up. Steel type. Yes, Steelix, you're getting your point in here. Because I prefer Steelix to Skarmory is the main one. I do like Skarmory. I always forget also that Skarmory came in Gen 2. For me, it was a Gen 3 Pokemon. I originally encountered Skarmory in Gen 3. And I thought genuinely was the Gen 3 Pokemon. And it was cool. I quite like Skarmory, but I've used Steelix more than Skarmory. And I've enjoyed Steelix a lot. Yeah, I'm not a huge Fortress guy, and we've already picked Scizor earlier. Another big one, because Scizor probably would be there. Fairy type. Gen 2 Fairy type. I'm not a huge fan of Azumarill. It's fine. I like the Toga line. Let's go with Togepi, because Togepi is... Actually, no, let's go Togekiss. Togekiss is very cute. I do like the Toga line. I've never used it. But it is very cute, and I quite like it. Favorite starter is Typhlosion. I love Feraligatr, and I love Meganium. This is another one that I don't think you could go wrong with a starter. I know Meganium is actively the worst of the three, at least in the region. But I have a soft spot for Meganium because of Pixelmon. So I used a Meganium. I caught a Meganium, or I caught a Chikorita and evolved it into Meganium in Pixelmon, and it did work. So I really like it. Also, it's a plant dinosaur, and I like dinosaurs. But we're going with Typhlosion. Gimmick form, we're going... It's between Fabio and Mega Tyranitar, but I like Mega Tyranitar a lot. The fact that there was not a Gigantamax Tyranitar is criminal, by the way. I like Mega Tyranitar. Legendary... It just is Celebi. I love Celebi. And my favorite Pokemon is Tyranitar. I love you, Celebi. Celebi is my favorite mythic, but Tyranitar is one of my favorite Pokemon of all time. So, yeah, I genuinely love them. Gen 3. Now, Gen 3 is technically my original gen because, again, Fire Red. But I also had Emerald. And Emerald happens to be the host to my favorite Pokemon of all time. Also, Gen 3 is where they really started to understand you can have Dragon types. You can make Dragon types. So, we're going to get... You can imagine there's going to be a lot of fun in here. I love Gen 3 so much. So, for normal type in Gen 3, I like a lot of these. I like Slacking. I think Slacking is very cool. I like Exploud. I've never actually used an Exploud, but I like it. I love Spinder. But is Swablu gonna... It's not Swablu, is it? No, I think it might be Exploud. I think it's gonna be Exploud. Yeah. There's not even a contest here. As much as I do quite like Torkoal, and I have given a much more respect for Camerupt now because I've seen it shiny. But of course it's Blaziken. Are you kidding me? Now, Water type. So. Hoenn happens to be home to my favorite water type of all time. So, I will have to say, I am really sorry to my boy Sharpedo. I love Sharpedo a lot. I am a huge Sharpedo fan. But, unfortunately, Sharpedo, you're in the same gen as Milotic. I love Milotic so much. Also, I'm obliged not to like Swampert because it's a friend of mine's favorite Pokemon. And it's their starter of choice. So I'm obliged not to like him because they were my childhood rival for Pokemon. And they use Swampert a lot because it's their favorite. Basically, we had, in classic childhood friend group fashions, we had a grass... Well, actually, we had a water star, because we didn't have a third person who really played a lot of Pokemon with us. But we had a water trainer and a fire starter trainer of the pair. I was the fire trainer, so expect a lot of fire types. Starter picks from me. But Milotic is my favorite water type in Gen 3, and it's not even close. I love you, Kyogre, as well, but it's Milotic. I use Milotic so much. Grass types, there's a lot of really cool grass types in Gen 3. Genuinely love a lot of them. I like Sceptile. I just do. Sceptile, I actually picked Sceptile originally. I hadn't seen the third forms. But I liked, I'd seen Trico and Grovyle, and I'd seen Torchic and Combuskin. And I liked, Sceptile line better. But Blaziken eclipses Sceptile for me. I love Blaziken a lot. So, yeah. Electric type. I'm not a huge fan of any of these. So, Magnetric, I guess. Not really a lot for it. Now, Ice types. We'll get to Snorunt's glory later. I quite like Glalie. I quite like Walrein as well. And I have a soft spot for Regice. But we're going to go with Glalie. I like Glalie. I like the Snorunt line generally, but Glalie is not my favourite of its generation, of its line. We'll get to that later. But Glalie is the inferior form, but I do like it. Fighting type. The only reason here, I am not doubling up on Blaziken, because it is Blaziken. Of the fighting types in the first 3 generations, Blaziken is by far my favourite. But I do like Hariyama. Gen 3, for me, a lot of the types started to pop off. I am a big fan of Hariyama. So we'll go with the big Sumo. Which I think is pretty cool. Poison type. I love Roselia. Roserade might get the shoe in later, but I like Seviper. I think it's a terrible Pokemon, but I love its design. I really love the big saber-toothed Viper with the blade tail. I love Seviper a lot. Ground type. I'm sorry, Flygon. I love you so much. Flygon is a fantastic Pokemon. And I've used Flygon so much. But it's Groudon. Groudon is one of my favorite Pokemon. Gen 3's legendaries are amazing. Hoenn has some of the best legendaries, in my opinion. So yeah. Now then. Do I put him here? Or do I put him here? Basically, these two, you know who these two are. I'm just deciding where I want them. I think I'll put Salamence. No, actually, no. I'll put my boy, my favorite Pokemon of all time, Rayquaza, my boy. I had a Pokemon card of him before I realized he was a legendary. He is my favorite legendary to this day, and he's my favorite Pokemon. My boy, Rayquaza. We'll put him in Lord of the Sky. He's my favorite. Psychic. Psychic's tricky for me because... no, you're going in Fairy. Yeah, I know it. Okay, actually, this is going to be fairly clear-cut, I think, because we know one of the Lati twins is going to be here. I love Metagross, but you're going... oh, yeah, actually, yeah. I know where this is going. I know where we're going. Okay. This is tricky because there's a lot of overlaps. I love a lot of Pokemon in this gen, okay? I love a lot of the Hoenn Pokemon. What we're going to do, for Psychic, we're going to go with Latias, my favorite of the Lati twins. A lot of the Psychics are going to be in later, don't worry. I won't get to them yet. Bug type, I'm not a huge fan of the bug types in this region. Beautifly, I guess. Like, Beautifly's cool. Rock type, we're going with my boy Aggron. I love Aggron. I love a lot of the rocks. I love Lunatone and Solrock. I like Cradily. I like Regirock. I like the big fish. I can't even remember its fucking name. That one. Relicanth. I like it. But I used Aron and Aggron on my original Hoenn playthrough. It remains one of my favorite Pokemon to this day. It's one of my favorites, like, not particularly good Pokemon. I used a Rockhead one. Also, I'm taking my dressing gown off because I'm getting overheated. Yes, I'm wearing the same shirt as yesterday. Don't judge me. It was the only one I had, which was even vaguely clean. And I only wore it for stream yesterday, so... it's washing day, essentially. But yeah, I love Aggron. Aggron is one of my favorite Pokemon. I love it so much. I was really sad it's not in Gen 9. Terrestrialization would make it insane. but yeah. Ghost type. Yeah, it's Shuppet. I love Shuppet. I think Shuppet is so cute. I really like it. Not a huge fan of Bennett, which is weird because it's literally got my name in it. But I've not been a big, never been a big fan of it. I prefer Shuppet. I wish Bennett looked more like Shuppet, to be honest. Dragon type, we're putting in Salamence. Okay, I love Flygon. I love Altaria. I love both the Light Twins. Rayquaza's my boy, but I'm trying not to double up. We're putting my original favorite pseudo-legendary. Salamence. Salamence took the top spot off of Tyranitar. Hey, Jupiter. I love Salamence so much. And I've used it on every single home playthrough, and I will continue. Yep, I'm doing a tier list. I've gone through... We're about most of the way through Gen 3, and we've been going for about 45 minutes. So we're making good time. I love Salamence so much. It's my second favorite dragon from Hoenn, only because it's beaten out by my favorite Pokemon of all time, Rayquaza. Dog types? Yeah, I like Sharpedo a lot. I like Mightyena as well. I love Cacturne. Crawdon I quite like. I used an Absol originally. I did like Absol. I quite like Sableye. But I love Sharpedo. I like Sharks a lot. As everybody knows, I like Sharks a lot. Sharpedo is great. I really, really like it. If they add some more Shark Pokemon later on, in like future games, I would be down to do a Shark-only playthrough. Top 3 favorite mons of each type. No, I'm trying to do basically. This is my favorite in each gen, essentially. We're going through types and generation, with starter, gimmick form, legendary as well. But I'm giving a bit of an explanation as to why in the cases of the ones I really like, or there's good honorable mentions. I love Sharpedo though. Steel type, we know who's going in Steel type. Honorable mention again to Mawile. I love Mawile so much. I really like Jirachi as well. And I don't mind Registeel and Aggron. Aggron's already in Rock type. We gotta go Metagross, right? I am my original team in Hoenn. I had both Salamence and Metagross on the team. Immediately, Metagross was, I believe, post-game. I can't remember if I got it before the Elite Four. So weak. Hey, don't diss Mawile. Mawile's trying her best. No, Mawile's not. Mawile isn't very good, but I like Mawile a lot. It's got good typing. And also, respect to Mega Mawile, which is insane. One of the strongest Mega Pokemon. That wasn't Rayquaza. Or Mewtwo. Yeah, you generally can only use it in the Gen 6 remakes. Absolutely. Fairy type. Again, honorable mention to Mawile. I like Mawile. It's a bad Pokemon, but I like Mawile. But we're picking Gardevoir. Gardevoir is another Pokemon that has always been on my Hoenn teams. And in a lot of other games, honestly. I used it originally because I liked having a fast Psychic type. I always did. Just on my team, I just like it. And Gardevoir was the fast Psychic type in Gen 3. This is when I was a child, by the way. So, get your man out the gutter. I just like the Pokemon. And then they made it Fairy later, and I prefer it. I really like Psychic Fairy as a combo as well. I really like Gardevoir. What can I say? Favorite starter is Blaziken. You might be seeing a trend here. Though I believe there actually is. There's a couple of gems that I prefer. We're about to break the trend of fire only for me. Let's put it that way. Mostly because we're going into Gen 4 and 5, which I don't like the fire starters. Favorite gimmick form is Mega Rayquaza. Honorable mentions to a massive number of these Pokemon. Love Swampert. Boo! Nah, Swampert's great. Swampert is great. It's just a friend of mine's favorite Pokemon, so I'm obliged not to like it. The Megas are great. Mega Mawile, Mega Gardevoir, Mega Blaziken, Mega Sceptile, Mega Swampert, Mega Aggron, Mega Sharpedo, Mega Altaria, Mega Glalie, Mega Salamence, Mega Metagross, both Mega Latios, and all three, both Primals, and Mega Rayquaza. Yeah, Dragons are my favorites. My god, is it difficult to pick my favorites. But we're going Mega Rayquaza. Rayquaza's my boy. My favorite legendary is Rayquaza. It's not even close. And my favorite, Rayquaza. We're always going to have Rayquaza. Also, I'm going to basically, for favorites, I'm going to avoid using the Megas pretty much whenever. Even if I prefer the gimmick form, I'm not putting him in because to me they're a form of a Pokemon, not actually a Pokemon. One moment, guys. Gen 4 now. Gen 4 normal types. You know what? I did use... Yeah, the only one of these... Right, okay. So this, for me, is between three. I like Arceus. Because Arceus. So obviously I like it. I like Staraptor because I've actually used Staraptor a bit. And I like it. Like, I genuinely like... Yeah, I agree with you there. Aggron and Haxorus are two Pokemon that are baby suited. To be honest, I think Arcanine was originally going to be a legendary. I think originally, like, the original plans for Pokemon, I think Arcanine, Lapras, and something else was supposed to... And Dragonite was supposed to be legendary Pokemons. And they changed it to the birds because they wanted to make them like a united theme. I believe it was something like that. Like, they actually changed it up, like, last minute. Like, adding Dragonite last minute, I think, was a thing as well. Like, Dragonite was added really late in the development cycle, which is the only reason I think Charizard isn't Dragon-type, is because they literally didn't think of putting the Dragon-type in until at the end. Which is why Gyarados and Charizard are flying. Because, let's face it, they probably should both be Dragon. But I like Lopunny. Not even for suspicious reasons. I genuinely just liked using Lopunny when I was playing Pokemon Mo. I had the one that can't use items, so I gave it just acrobatics, and I just had it be an absolute monster, just beat stick, with like return, acrobatics, and things like that. It was just fun to use. So I'm giving a shout out to Lopunny. I like Lopunny. Not one of my favorites, but I like it. And honestly, it's not got the greatest competition in normal types in Gen 4. Fire type, there is one above all the others. I'm not a huge Infernape guy myself. It's fine. I'm realizing I dislike it more than I should. Oh, I'm very aware of the fan art people make, yeah. But I generally just like Lopunny. I also quite like rabbits, just generally. But for me, fire types in Gen 4, there is the Infernape line, which a lot of people love. I'm not a huge fan. I'm not a big monkey guy. Magmortar, which is fine. Rotom Heat, which is fine. And Heatran, which I love. I adore Heatran, so we're getting Heatran. Water types. Yeah, I never got that. Water type in Gen 4 is another thing. I love... Ada Frog. I don't know, it's not at all a frog. I don't really know what Heatran is. Nah. I'm trying to think, what is Heatran? Kind of like a lava golem looking thing. I'm not sure what it's supposed to be, if I'm honest. It can't actually, no, you know what I think it is? I think it's a dinosaur. I think it's an ankylosaur. Like, if you like, add it a tail, kind of ankylosaur. I'll give it ankylosaur. I like Gastrodon. And I like Palkia. I'm probably going to go Palkia. I like Gastrodon, though. The pink Gastrodon is my favorite of the two. The blue one's fine. I just think it looks ill. The pink one looks more like an animal, I always think. The green one, the blue one is cool as well, but I like the the South Sea or the East Sea one more. We're going with Palkia. I like Manaphy and Fiona as well. I'm a big fan, but we're going Palkia. Mostly because Palkia is not going to get the Dragon slot later, so we need to put him somewhere because they're available. Grass type, now. Roserade to probably get Poison type later, but... Right. So, Grass type is really hotly contested in this gen. For reference, Gen 4 is one of the very few times I pick a Grass starter. Torterra is my favorite Grass starter. I love Torterra a lot. But this is just a gen with really good Grass types in general. Leafeon is my second favorite evolution. I love Roserade. Roserade is fantastic. Shaman is amazing. So this just has a lot of good Grass types. I think I gotta go Leafeon. But Torterra is amazing, Roserade is amazing, and Shaman is amazing. This was a really tough one for me. Leafeon probably slightly edges out the others, though. Electric. Yeah. Torterra actually just got Shell Smash recently. It got Shell Smash in Gen 9. Which is a lot worse. It's still good, though. You can actually make it work. If it had Shell Smash in Gen 5, it would be insane. You're absolutely right, though. I was always amazed it didn't get Shell Smash, to be honest. It's a giant turtle. Like, it should. Oh, it's definitely not going to know you. It's going to know you. You can make it work in a bit lower tier, but it still works. RU, to me, is like, these Pokemon are just really good still. That being said, NU has, like, Thunderous in it, so what do I know? But I like Torterra a lot. And Torterra is also quite a beast. Just generally. Also, it's a ground type, and it gets Earthquake on evolution, so. Electric. I like Luxray. I like Pachirisu. I like the Rotoms. I'm not massively on the Rotoms, but I like the Rotoms. And I like Electivire. Do we go Luxray? The problem is every single one of these has disappointed me in the past. I like Luxray. Let's go with Luxray. Luxray is almost, if it gets a... Luxray just needs something to be amazing. It just needs a little something. Luxray, I think, is fixable. Electivire is not fixable. Luxray is fixable. Magnezone is also cool. I've never been the biggest fan of the magnets, just generally, but it is cool. Ice type. Now then. Ice type. Okay. Okay, here we go. The magnets should have absolutely... Just, the magnets would be broken with Levitate, but they should have had Levitate. You're not wrong. I, for years, thought they did have Levitate, actually. Because they so obviously have Levitate, right? It's just weird that they don't. Okay. Gen 4 ice types are some of the best ice types ever. Okay? Let me get that out of the way. My favorite evolution is Glaceon. Is it good? No, but it's my favorite. Mamoswine is here. I love Mamoswine. Hey, Salamence is the most basic dragon, but the basic dragon design is peak. So, of course. I love Weavile. I love Glaceon. I love Mamoswine. I love Frostlass. Frostlass is one of my favorite Pokemon. We're going Glaceon. But, my god, is that a tough choice. Fighting type? Probably Gallade. As I said, I'm not the biggest Infernape guy. I'm not the biggest Lucario guy either. I like Lucario, but... Yeah, we might be getting Garchomp a bit later. Yes, don't worry. Don't worry. My boy. My Gooba. My shark. I love Garchomp. Garchomp is one of my absolute favorites. Garchomp is one of the few Pokemon that compete. For me, my top 3 Pokemon. Oh, Mega Garchomp's not good. Yeah, if Mega Garchomp had Sand Rush, it would be amazing. Fires were already broken. Give it Sand Rush. They gave it a speed down, so give it Sand Rush to put it back up. That's my thought. Right. It would have destroyed everything in its gen. But I like Gallade. I vastly prefer Gardevoir. But I like Gallade. Poison type. But for me, poison type is between Roserade and Drapion. I like Roserade more. I just do. Ground type. This is where we're getting Garchomp. Okay. I like Gliscor a lot. I like Rhyperior a lot. I like Hippowdon a lot. I like Torterra. I like these. But it's fucking Garchomp. It's one of my favorite Pokemon of all time. It is one of my top 3. I couldn't pick out of the top 3. My top 3 are Rayquaza, Charizard, and Garchomp. I could not pick a favorite out of the 3. I love it. I love all 3. I absolutely adore them. My favorite Pseudo Legendary is Garchomp. Easily. It's the only one that beats out Salamence for me. I love Salamence, Garchomp, peak. Yeah. Favorite flying type? This is probably going to go Gliscor. Shaman. I like Shaman. I like normal Shaman more than Sky Shaman, even though Sky Shaman is just way better. But yeah. Exactly. Garchomp is one of the best Pokemon ever. For its like type. It's only now being power crept. That to me is to say. The fact that it's only now in Gen 9 gotten out of OU and it's one of the best Pokemon in UU. Genuinely. It's one of the 2 best. It's actually arguably the best Pokemon in UU. And it's Gen 9. Well, also, in my opinion, the only reason Garchomp is in UU is because there are some Pokemon which hard counter it in OU. Looking at you, Roaring Moon. But there's a few others like that. I think the only reason Garchomp is that is because some of the Paradoxes hard counter it. I think if we get in the next gen, if we have no Paradoxes in the next gen, I think Garchomp will be back in OU. Genuinely. I think it's just outclassed. I think it's outmatched by just a few very specific Pokemon that are probably not going to remain in the gen. Essentially. As much as I love my Paradox Pokemon, I don't think we're all going to see him for too long. Yeah, it's Gliscor. I like Gliscor. Gliscor is a fantastic Pokemon. Psychic type. The banning Pokemon own business getting it. I saw they banned my boy Arcaladon. You say Arcaladon got banned for no reason. I was in OU. It's currently it's been banned for a while. It's still in OU on Showdown for some reason. I see why it got it. Arcaladon got banned not because of itself. It got banned because of rain. Arcaladon in a vacuum is fine. Arcaladon in rain is busted. That's my opinion on Arcaladon. Arcaladon itself is just very good. King Gambit also should definitely be uber tier. I don't know why it's not. It makes no sense to me that it's not. It's insane. Azelf, I get... Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of any of the Psychic types in this gen. Yeah. Bug type. Yeah, Mega. Yeah. The next region is where bug types go hard. Up until this point, we've got, like, Scizor. Yeah, Mega's cool, but... favorite rock type? Rhyperior. I love Rhyperior. I finally gotten to use one in the Monotype run for ground in Kanto. Rhyperior was an absolute beast of the team. Also, main reason got me through the, yeah. Yeah, think of it this way. Scizor is no longer banned in UU. Still very, very good, though. One of the best Pokemon in the tier. Ghost types. Yeah, okay. Ghost type, here we go. So this is what we're going to do. Ghost type, we're going to put Frostlass. Right? Frostlass is my favorite ghost. Right? I love Frostlass so much. Dragon type, we're going to put in Giratina. Origin Giratina particularly. I love both Giratinas for reference, but I prefer Origin. Giratina, one of my favorite Pokemon. My favorite legendary from Gen 4. Which is a strong competitor for legendaries. Favorite dark type? It's between Spiritomb and Weavile. I think Weavile edges it. I'm gonna chuck in Weavile. Favorite steel type? As I said, Heatran, already taken in fire type. I don't like Lucario. I'm not a huge Empoleon fan. Bastiodon, I like Bastiodon now because it's got body press. Why it didn't have body press to begin with, I will never know. Bronzong's fine. I'm not a Magnum guy. We are going with, I think that's Origin. Actually, that's not Origin Dialga, that's just Dialga. That's just, like, Shiny Dialga, I guess? We're gonna go with Dialga. I love Dialga. I'm a huge fan. Yeah, I'm very curious as to why Skarmory is not. I'm surprised Skarmory isn't UU banned. Banless, to be honest. I'm surprised people are using it. It must have some use, I don't know. Fairy type, Togekiss. Out of these two, it's a really shit, awful, disgusting Pokemon or Togekiss. So, we're going Togekiss. Torterra is the starter choice. I love Torterra. Gimmick form. I know it's bad. I gotta pick Garchomp, right? I know it's not good. Mega Garchomp isn't good, but it looks nice. I like how it looks. I also love, shout out to Mega Lopunny as well. I really love Mega Lopunny. Mega Lucario is fine. Mega Abomasnow looks funny. But we're going Mega Garchomp even though it's not good. Favorite legendary, we're going with Giratina. Origin Giratina. Again, this is one hell of a list. Pretty much any of these could be your top pick. And I would not judge. Favorite in the gen though, Garchomp. Like, it just is. I love every single Pokemon here. Gen 4 has some, apart from you. You're alright. But every single Pokemon, apart from Luxray or Azelf, in most other gens, could very much be contending for the best Pokemon. But Gen 4 didn't have many new additions, but the new additions it had were amazing. I don't even have nostalgia. I played Gen 4 for the first time last year. I love Gen 4 Pokemon. Gen 4 is great. Gen 5. Gen 5 is another really good gen. What the fuck are these things? Why are there a pair of legs? What are these? Well, that's weird. Anyway, gen normal types. Meloetta, I guess? Look. Dragonite keeps getting buffs. Why? It's the only... I think it's the only pseudo-legendary that has Ice Spinner. Why? Why does Salamence, which looks more appropriate for Ice Spinner, or Garchomp? God. I just don't know if that'd be a good buff. Because Dragonite doesn't want recoil because of marbles, because of its super mega scales. Braybird would be good. I don't think it'd want it, though. Weirdly. I think you could run other sets with it if you have Braybird. Yeah, I don't know how good that would actually be. Meloetta, I guess. Let's go with Hatsune Miku. Wait, it's never getting Dragon Ascent. Dragon Ascent is Rayquaza's unique move. That's never getting added to anything else. Fire type. Jesus. Headlong Rush of Braybird Land of Fear would be nuts. Fire type is between 2. Oh, actually, it's between 3. I like Victini as well. I really like Victini. But Gen 5 is... Gen 5 is the gen that has some of the best bugs ever. Gen 5 is the gen of the bug. It has Volcarona, which is probably going in bug. I like Reshiram. I really like Reshiram. It's a fire dragon. I can't not pick it. Water type. Okay, this is a controversial one. Oh, yeah, for reference, I don't like any of the starters from Gen 5. Gen 5 has the worst starters, in my opinion, of any gen. There's not a single one I actively like of the Gen 5 starters. For me, Gen 5 is the, oh, you pick a starter, okay, and that's it. You get rid of it. Yeah. I'm going with Caracosta. I like Caracosta. Now, here's the bit. Grass types Gen 5 are cracked. Gen 5 has some of the best grasses. Because it has Whimsicott, which I love. Lilligant, which I love. We'll get to Sweet Lilligant later, which is my favorite grass type, but I love normal Lilligant. Maractus, the most underappreciated god of Pokemon. I love Maractus so much. We're probably going to go Lilligant, but honorable mentions to those 3. I love them. Yeah, we're going Lilligant, but I love Maractus so much. I have a soft spot for Maractus. Okay. But we're going Lilligant. We're going Lily. Electric type. And now there is Thundurus there. Honestly, I would not be surprised if Breloom gets an evolution at some point. Wouldn't be surprised at all. Electric types. Finally, we get some cool electric types. There's actually choices here. I am going to put Galvantula. But here's the thing. I love Electros. Thundurus is cool, I guess, but I'm not a huge fan. There's also Zekrom. I like all of these. But we're going Galvantula because I'm not picking it for bug. Major reason. But I genuinely love Galvantula so much. I don't like Zebstrika. I'm not a Zebra guy. It's cool. It is cool, but... Ice type? Now, I'm gonna be honest. For design-wise... It's Curium. It's one of the Curium forms. Normal Curium is fine. I don't really like the ice types. They're all fine in this gen. But Curium, Curium Black, and Curium White are all amazing. I like the design of Curium Black better than Curium White. That's not saying I dislike them. They've put in an Uber's UU now, haven't they? Which is the main thing. Because they'll just die. But yeah, Curium Black. I love it. Fighting type. Genuinely, there's just a guy in there. I like a lot of these, but a lot of these are kind of okay. Alright. But I have to say, probably Menshao. I kind of like Menshao. Not really used it much, but it's pretty cool. Poison type. You all know where poison type's going for this gen. Scolipede. I fucking love Scolipede. Scolipede is one of my favorite poison types. Just outright. I like a lot of poison types. Scolipede's probably my second favorite poison type of all time. Off the top of my head. I can't think of it off the... I'm going to get to him later. We're actually going to pick. But Scolipede is definitely in contention. Ground type. Ooh, ground type's between 2. Ground type is between 2 for me. $62 Pokemon for the old game. I love Scolipede so much. I used it for so long. So this is between 2. This is between Crocodile, which I absolutely adore, and Golurk. which I absolutely adore. I don't know what other ghosts. What other ghosts are there? Yeah, we're going Crocodile. We're going Crocodile because as much as I like Chandelure, I genuinely prefer Golurk to Chandelure. So, we're going to put Crocodile in here. Flying type. I'm going to be honest. If you'd have asked me about 4 months ago, I'd have gone Bravery here. But Bravery doesn't learn anything good, is a problem I've found. I love running Life Orb Sheer Force sets, and it just doesn't get many good Sheer Force moves. Unfortunately, Bravery. It gets good moves, just not good Sheer Force moves. So, I am going to not pick Bravery. I'm going to pick, Archeops. I like my fossils. I like my dinosaurs. I like Archaeopteryx. So, yeah. Why is there just people in this tier? For this one, let's go Victini. Because we've already got the normal type. I mean, it's Koraidon. Koraidon's a beast. Let's go Victini for Psychic. I love Victini a lot. So, happy. And we've already used Meloetta for normal. Otherwise, probably be Meloetta, but I like Victini a lot too. Bug. Hey, I've been using Great Tusk early today in OU. It's great. Great Tusk is my favorite, like, rapid spin Pokemon. It just is. I genuinely love Great Tusk so much. One of my favorite fighting types. Actually, it might be my favorite fighting type. It's up there. He's not. That one. He's comparable. I won't call him quite as good, but he's comparable. For bug type, as I said, this Gen 5, amazing bug types. We are going to go, by the way, until I actually finish all of the tier list. We're going to go overtime. But we're going to borrow my favorite bug type of all time, Volcarona. Exactly, yeah. Yeah, it's hard to really say, isn't it? Rock type. I really like Gigalith. Let's go with Gigalith. Not used it much, but I love Sandstorm Pokemon in general. Tyranitar is big proof of that. I love using Sandstorm teams. And it's another Sandstorm. It's my second favourite of the Sandstorm setup Pokemon. I'm very sad again that it's not in Gen 9. Another one I'm sad. Ghost type. Yep, as I said. I like Cofagrigus. I don't like the Monopoly people. I like Chandelure a lot. This thing looks cool, but I don't know what it actually is. Let's pick Golurk. I love Golurk. Golurk is awesome. Now then, we get to a really fucking difficult one. But I want to check something here. Yes, okay. So, for Dragon types, I want to point out, first of all, I like every single Dragon type in this list. Every single one is amazing. I love the Haxorus line. I like Druddigon. I don't care what anyone says. I like Druddigon. And I love Hydreigon. I love Reshiram. I love Zekrom. I love all three Kyuriums. But right here, we're putting Haxorus. Because we could put Hydreigon in Dark type. And it's easily my favorite Dark type in the gym. Bishop's cool as well. And Crocodile's cool. I love Hydreigon. And I've actually had a Hydreigon that didn't disappoint me. Oh yeah, Landorus is crazy. Steel type. I like a few of these. I like the Knight. I like Ferrothorn. I like Bishop. I like Durant. I mean, yeah, Salamence generally is like the non-Uber Rayquaza, pretty much. It's the non-broken Rayquaza. It's great. I love Salamence, but I know what it is. I think I'll go Bishop here. It's between Bishop and Ferrothorn, really. I love it, Excavalier, but let's go Bishop. Yeah. Salamence is crazy good either way, just with how you build it. Iron Valiant's a really weird one. Because you never run it mixed. Like, you can go either way on it, but you never do. You either go one or the other. Fairy. I wonder what we're gonna go with for fairy types. I like Whimsicott. I love Whimsicott. Favorite starter? I don't fucking care. They're all shit. Embo. Gimmick form? I don't know what half of these are. It's gonna make a Garbodor because Gigantamax Garbodor because it's kind of unique. It's got a plane on it. Favorite legendary? Is it Reshiram? It might be Reshiram. Yeah, Fairy Ground is a cool type. Let's go Reshiram. I like Reshiram. It's a fire dragon. My favorite for the gen is tough. It is between two. Yeah, it's between two. It's between Volcarona and Hydreigon. Yeah, Poison Dark's great. Volcarona. Hydreigon. I like Hydreigon slightly more. It's really close. I think I'll go Hydreigon, though. That one's very, very, very close between the pair, though. I love Haxorus as well, for reference. I like Hydreigon a bit more than Haxorus, though. Not a lot, but I like it a little bit more. Oh, yeah, normal type. Gen 6 normal type. I am not a fan of Rinny anything here. Oh, yeah, I guess by technicality, we can use... Yeah, let's do Mega Lopunny. Mostly because I don't like I don't like Furfrou. The Electric Lizard's fine, I guess. I don't really like Mega Kangaskhan and Mega Pidgeot. Not a huge fan of Diggersby. Pyro's fine. Let's go Mega Lopunny. Firebug is a weird type combo, you're not wrong. It's... Because it's surprisingly good against a lot of things, it just still dies to Rock. But again, Rock's designed to be like a big 4x crusher. Fire type. One moment, just want to check something in. Yeah, okay. Fire type, I'm gonna put my Mega Charizard back in. I love Mega Charizard. But we'll get back to... I was basically checking because I wanted to make sure that Delphox would be in later because I love Delphox. For me, the starters in Gen 6 are all good. Like, I'm not a huge Chestnut guy. It's also bird spam, yeah. Water type. Is it Primal Kyogre? I like Greninja. I understand the hype around Greninja. I'm just not really part of it. It's cool. I've used it. And it is a good Pokemon. It's... I understand why people love it, though. But it's probably Mega... It's Primal Kyogre. I like Primal Kyogre a lot. Grass type, it's Trevenant. I love Trevenant. Lady Gigas could be around. No, I like it being normal. Because if it's normal and they decide to do what they did in Gen 8, they might make a Regiterra. I could actually see them making a Regiterra later with 200 attack. Genuinely. imagine them making a Regiterra and a Regihydro being the major ones. Electric type. It is Mega Ampharos. It's Fabio. I love Fabio. Jesus, that would be insane. Now, I think honestly, I think you'd give it, decent health, decent defense, decent really 200 physical attack, and the rest is just kind of eh. Electrifying is a good type. Oh, yeah, we're gonna get to, by the way, Ice type is easily Amoris. This Gen 6 has the best fossils. I don't care what anyone says about any other Gen's fossils. Gen 6 has the best 2 fossils. By far, no contest. Fighting type, they also have great fighting types. Gen 6 is a big one for me, where they go, fighting type became amazing. I could see it. I don't know what it would be, but I could see them adding an ordinary one. We're obviously going with Mucha Lucha, Holucha. I love Holucha so much. For reference, by the way, that's actually quite a tough one. I love Holucha so much. I love Pangoro as well. Both of them. 10, 4, 5. Not really for fighting types. I'm not a huge fan of the fighting types in Gen 5 and Gen 4. Eh. Regidrago's okay. Regielekki's actively good. Regidrago's okay, though. Poison type, it's easily Dragalge. I love Dragalge. Ground type, it's Mega Garchomp again. I love Primal Groudon. Don't get me wrong. I love Primal Groudon too. But it's Mega Garchomp. Oh, shit. I love Vivillon. Don't get me wrong. Are we about to do the same thing we did last time? Oh, it's going to be tricky, actually. I'm going to try to avoid picking Megas if there is a other Pokemon I prefer. I actually like, okay? So for Flying type, we're not going to put Mega Rayquaza in, because I already picked Mega Rayquaza earlier. It's also probably going to go in Gimmick form. Let's go Noivern. I like Noivern a lot. Psychic type. I love it. Delphox is fantastic. People give it a bad rap. I love Delphox so much. I wish they'd changed the starter vibes because it looks like a female. I prefer it as a female one. I always try to get a female Delphox. Right, a female shiny Delphox is great. I call it Sarah. It's a great one. Bug type. Genuinely, I actually like Vivillon. The Megas are here too, but I actually like Vivillon. So, which is my favorite? I'll go... That one's really nice. Let's go that one. Shinichi, anything goes. Rock type. Yeah, we've got to put Goodra in the dragon. We're going to pick my boy. Tyrantrum is my favorite dragon, for reference, in Gen 6. Of the Gen 6 unit dragons, I prefer Tyrantrum to Goodra. But I like Goodra as well. Like, don't get me wrong. But it's a fucking T-Rex, okay? T-Rex is my favorite dinosaur. I love Tyrantrum. I want Tyrantrum so much. So, I'm a big fan. I'm a really big fan of Tyrantrum. Favorite ghost type? We've already used Trevenant. Let's use Aegislash. I don't mind Aegislash. Not my favorite. I much prefer Trevenant. Gourgeist is fine, but I like Aegislash. Dragon, we gotta go Goodra. Again, the others are already in, being the major bits. Oh, we could put Zygarde in. I do like Zygarde. Nah, we'll go Goodra. I think I prefer Goodra to Zygarde in terms of, like... I like them both, genuinely. I've never used Zygarde, I probably never will. But let's go... I like Goodra a lot. And I've used a Goodra, it's fun. Dark type. Pangoro. I like Hooper Unbound. I love Yveltal. And I love Malamar. But I really like Pangoro, okay? I know it just dies to Fairy. But I like the giant I like the giant Yakuza Panda, okay? It's really cool. Steel type. Mega Aggron, probably. I love Aggron in general. And all the other ones I like are also Megas. Fairy. Now, Fairy is a really crazy one in this jet. Sylveon is right there. Yeah, I said if I genuinely like another Pokemon, I'll pick it over the Megas. Let's go Sylveon. I like Sylveon a lot. Starter, it is Delphox. I love Delphox. Gimmick form. Now, this is the one I'm going to pick Mega Rayquaza again. Still my favorite. Saved Gen 8. Legendary. I'm going to go with the actual legendaries from the gen. So I'm going to avoid using Rayquaza again. And I'm going to go with Zygarde Complete Form. And my favorite Pokemon from the gen, I will go properly from the gen, is Tyrantrum. I genuinely like Tyrantrum a lot. As I say, I'm specifically trying... I'm trying to avoid Megas and things in my... They're my favorites. Honestly, you're not wrong. I agree with that. Diancie does feel like just a legendary version of Carbink. Which it kind of is, to be honest. Gen 7. Normal type. Now, I haven't actually played Gen 7 or 8. So this will be off of what I like having used them in Gen 9. If they're in Gen 9. Or do I just think they're cool? Normal type? I'll go with Drampa. Toucan's pretty cool as well. Beware's pretty cool. I like Drampa. Also, I never realized Kamala's a Alola. Is it? No, it isn't. Urshifu is not the first legendary. The first legendary was, Cosmog. Nebby. Cosmog evolves into... Cosmog goes to the Cosmoem, and then Solgaleo or Lunala. They were the first legendaries with evolutions. Yeah. Yeah, Urshifu is the second one. I'll go Drampa, because Drampa's pretty cool. Genuinely, there's some cracked fire types in Alola. Alola and Marowak is great. Turtonator... pretty mediocre because it's a fire dragon. Like, for a fire dragon, it's pretty mediocre. But, still a fire dragon. Cracked. Salazzle. Body of Mine's one of their favorite Pokemon. Salazzle's great. I really like Salazzle. I like Oricorio. I think it's cool as well. But we're going with the boy Incineroar. Because I like Incineroar as well. Yeah, I think they're the lowest of any legendary. But Ogerpon is just... Ogerpon is very, like, efficient. It's efficiently built. Water type. Okay. Here's the thing. Toxapex is my second favorite water type of all time. I just have to look at poisons. Is there any poison type that even comes close? No. So I will go with a different water type. Because... Oh, actually, is there any bugs? Okay, the bugs have actually got some competition as well. I think I will go with Araquanid. In water type. Urshifu doesn't need to be more broken than it already is. I'll agree with that with Ogerpon, though. Thing is with those ones, with Ogapon at least, you don't feel bad for using it in your playthrough. Which is common for legendaries. Yeah, I'll go with Raquanid and Water type. Grass type, I like Decidueye. Oh no, I like Decidueye, don't get me wrong. I love Lurantis. I really like Lurantis. Electric type. There is a clear winner for electric type. One of my favorite electric types of all time is in Alola. It is Vikavolt. I love Vikavolt. Oh, I wonder what I'm going to pick in ice type. There is a really weird choice of an abominable crab. Slightly better, but still pretty Sandslash. Or one of the best variant forms of all time. I wonder what we're going to pick. What are the fairies even are there? Oh, yeah, they're all the Tapus. Yeah, fairies gonna be a shit show. Yeah, we're Alolan Ninetales. I love Alolan Ninetales. I don't need to go into it. Fighting. What dragons are there in the search? This is gonna get... Alola's gonna get weird. Fighting type. Yeah, I'm gonna put Jangmo here. Or come on, what the fuck it is. I can never remember which one is which for the names, but that one. Yeah, I agree with that one. It is very odd. But yeah. Komo, great. I genuinely love it. Now, for poison type, we're putting in Toxapex here. I'm not at all trying to rig it so Toxapex gets the top spot in a category, but, you know, it might. I love Toxapex so much, though. I genuinely love it. It's my second... It competes with Milotic for favorite water type. I don't even know if there's any poison type which comes close. Genuinely. That one's we're going to get to it. Toxapex is clear favorite for poison type now, though. It's up there with Scolipede might compete with it, but I think I prefer Toxapex. Ground type. Oh, this is where Zygarde Complete comes in. Yeah, we're putting Zygarde Complete. I like Mudsdale. Don't get me wrong. I really like Mudsdale. But Zygarde Complete's great. Flying type. Okay. Controversial pick possibly here. I like the building, okay? I like Celesteela. I really like Celesteela. It's very cool. Psychic type is tricky. But... yeah, I think I can do this. Okay. Psychic type, we're gonna go with my favorite out of the two main box legendaries. I like Lunala more than Solgaleo. That's not saying that I dislike Solgaleo, by the way. It's very close. But I like Lunala a bit more. It looks a bit more like... okay, so here's one. I like the design a bit more of Lunala. It does something different with Bat, where Solgaleo is just big metal lion. Also, Lunala to me looks like a more noticeable progression from Cosmog. Now that one just looks like it should go as it does. Solgaleo comes a bit out in left field for me. So, Lunala, much better in my opinion. That being said, I love all the Necrozmas as well. Bug type. What was fairies again? Fairy. Yeah, this is gonna be such a shit show. Okay. We're gonna tentatively put Golisopod here, okay? Because we've already used Araquanid and Vikavolt. Rock type. Oh, it is not even close here. Dusk form Lycanroc, one of my favorite rock types of all time. It's a serious competitor. There are actually there are 4 of my favorite rock types of all time. I like certain rock Pokemon, okay? Rock types are really, really cool. Ghost type. We've already put Lunala in, so I'm not going to put Lunala in. I like Decidueye a lot. I like Alola Marowak a lot. I like Marshadow. But I really, really, really like the little Mimikyu. I love Mimikyu. So we're putting Mimikyu in there. Dragon type. Yeah, Dragon type, we're going to put Ultra Necrozma, which I love Ultra Necrozma. Ultra Necrozma is awesome. And one of my favorite legendaries. I genuinely love it. One of the main reasons, genuinely a major reason why I'm going to be playing Ultra Sun Moon at some point. Will I use it? Probably not, but it's cool. Dark type, we're going to go with Guzzlord. I like Guzzlord. Shout out to Alolan Muck. I love you as well, buddy. You're the second best Alolan form to me. Incineroar, you're already in Fire type. There's Guzzlord. My favorite Ultra Beast. I think it's cracked. Now, I will say here, I love Kartana. Celesteela's already elsewhere. Stack Attack is cool. Melmetal's neat. Magearna is cool. The Hanson Dog Trio is great. They're all cool. I really like Solgaleo, though, so Solgaleo's going there. I say, just because I prefer Lunala to it does not mean I dislike it. Fairy type. This one's actually tricky. So, if I would have to say outright, it's Alolan Ninetales. But we've already got Alolan Ninetales for Ice. I love Primarina and I love Ribombee. The Tapus are all great as well, and I obviously love Mimikyu, but we've already got Mimikyu in. So this, to me, is between Primarina, which is great, and Ribombee, which is great. I think I'm going to go Ribombee, but it's close. I really like the pair of them. Alola's another one where I go, there is almost no... You can't pick wrong for Alolan starters. I think all three are fantastic. Top tier. Yeah, maybe. Starter is Incineroar. As I say, you can't pick wrong here. This is why Incineroar and Primarina are all amazing. But I like Incineroar slightly more than the other two. Primarina is comparable. It's one of my two favorite water starters. It's between Primarina and Feraligatr. But Primarina is just in much tougher competition. Favorite gimmick form? Ultra Necrozma is technically gimmick form, you're not wrong. I like Alolan Ninetales. Legendary... Is it Lunala? It's Ultra Necrozma or Lunala? I think it's Lunala. I do think I prefer it slightly more. But for this one, we're going Toxapex. Toxapex is my favourite from the gen, though. Alolan Marowak is awesome. Like, outright. I adore Alolan Marowak as well. I like Marowak. It's not on the list on either section, but I love Marowak. Gen 8. Now, Gen 8 is going to have some weird fucking Pokemon on it. So, I don't think... Maybe we're going to have to move this around a little. There we go. I need to check something first. Okay. So we're going to put Ursaluna over later. I love Obstagoon. Now let me be honest here. Obstagoon, fantastic. Do us a favor, Game Freak. Give us a Obstagoon level Mightyena. Give us a Mightyena evolution that's as good as Obstagoon. Because Obstagoon is cracked. I like Indeedee. I love the Eldrazi werewolf that is Hisui and Zoroark. Not a big Zoroark fan. Really big Hisui and Zoroark fan. But we're going to go Obstagoon because I don't know if there's going to be any ghost that competes with Hisuian. Oh, there's Dragapult. There is Dragapult. This is going to be interesting. But yeah, I'm going to put Obstagoon in here. Fire type? I love Giga Charizard, okay? Let me get that right out of the way. Gigantamax Charizard is the coolest looking Gigantamax to me. But people, I also, the fire, the starters in this gen are mediocre. They're all mediocre. For Gala. Hisuian Typhlosion's cool. The Hisuian starters are all cool. But I don't like the Gala starters. They're alright. I will say I think that the rabbit is the best. But I like... They're all fine. But I'm not a huge fan. Hisuian Arcanine, though, is going here. Like, Hisuian Arcanine is just cracked. I love Arcanine, and Hisuian Arcanine is better Arcanine. Also, it's a Rockhead Pokemon. Yes. Gotta love that huge power. Water type. Yeah, I like Dracovish. Let's go with Dracovish here. They're all okay. Nothing crazy stands out. I don't like Urshifu. Really. Oh, actually, no, there is this. Is it Palkia, maybe? Oh, I do like Hisuian Samurott. Let's go with Hisuian Samurott. I've never used Dracovish, but it's cool. Grass type. I like Eldegoss, but let's go with Applin. I like the Apple Dragon. Oh, actually, no, wait. No, yeah, what am I talking about? Of course. Hisuian fucking Lilligant, my favorite grass type, is in this gen. I forgot about that. Best grass type. Electric type. You know what? I'm a big Morpeko guy. I like Morpeko. What's better? Huge power? Dominant Mind would be a good name for it. Or something like that. Or Overwhelming Mind. Something like that. Or Mind Over Matter. Or something like that. I think they could come up with some good names for a special huge power. Best Ice type. It's between Frosmoth and Glastrier, but I like Glastrier. Not Calyrex Ice Rider. I've never used Calyrex Ice Rider. I'm sure it's great. I like Glastrier. Fighting type. Now, I'm going to be honest. We've already put in Hisuian Lilligant elsewhere, but it would be Hisuian Lilligant here, outright. Otherwise, it's between Galarian Zapdos, which is amazing, by the way. I said earlier in the stream I would sing Zapdos' praises when we got later. We've gotten to later. Hisuian Galarian Zapdos is amazing. I love it. Phalanx, also great. Surfetch'd is hilarious. I'm not a big Urshifu guy. It's fine. I think I'm good. For me, though, it's between Sneasler and Galarian Zapdos. I need to check Poison. Is there anything in Poison? There is Eternatus. Yeah, I think I prefer Sneasler, actually. Yeah, let's go, oh, actually, wait. Flying. Oh, yeah, Corviknight. Actually, is there anything Steel? Yes, okay. So, for fighting, we are going to go Galar Zapdos. For poison... Oh, this is poison? Yeah, for poison, we're gonna go Sneasler. I love a lot of these, but I'm not a huge Toxtricity guy. I'm not really, like, Galarian Slowking or anything like that. I love Eternatus, though. And I think Overqwil is great. But I like Sneasler a lot. Ground type is not even close. It's Ursaluna. Like, Sandaconda's cool, I guess. Runagrigus is great. Should have been a rock type, but it should be Rock Ghost. I don't care what anyone says. Flying type. is a tough as hell one because all 3 Galabirds are here, which are amazing. G-Max Charizard is here as well. Hisuian Braviary is here. But I really like Corviknight. I genuinely love Corviknight so much. Psychic type. Hatterene. Love Hatterene. This one actually wasn't much of a comparison. Like, I love Galarian Articuno, don't get me wrong. Huge power at double speed would be insanely broken. It genuinely would be. I genuinely think a huge power that doubles defense would be pretty cool, though. A defense or a special defense one. I think those would be cool. Because you could do, like, some sort of shield. Like, you could do a game-specific version. One's got huge power for defense, and the other's got huge power for special defense. Or a split evolution. And that would be really cool. Like, give that thing... Imagine something with huge power for defense and then body press. Bug. Cleavor, probably. I like Frosmoth a lot. I like Centiskorch as well, but Cleavor's great. Oh, also, shout out to G-Max Butterfree, which is just Mothra. Like, respect. For Rock type, I like Hisuian Avalugg. Will I ever use it? No. Is it cool? Yes. Ghost type. Yeah, it is. I love you, Dragapult. You're great. I really like you as well, Hisuian Typhlosion. Basculegion's pretty cool, Runegri is pretty cool. But we're picking the Eldrazi Werewolf. Dragon type. I'm gonna be honest. I love a lot of these. I like every single thing here. I want to point that out just before I pick. I like every single one of these, but we're picking Origin Dialga because the Origin Dialga's cracked. I really like it. Dark type. Okay, I love Grimmsnarl. It's awesome. I've already talked about Obstagoon. It's already on the list. Morpeko already on the list. Great. Urshifu. It's cool. I prefer this Urshifu out of the 2. I like the poof, one punch. But we're going Galarian Moltres because I love that thing. That's my favorite of the Galarian birds is Moltres. I think all 3 are great. Galarian Moltres is my favorite of the 3. Steel type. Now, this is actually a tough one for me. Is it? What else is in Fairy? Because we've already picked Hatterene. Yeah, okay, I know what we're picking. For me, Steel type, there's some great ones. Corviknight, already picked it. Zacian and Zamazenta. Zamazenta is great. The Fairy one, I can't remember which is the name of them. I think Zacian's the sword one, right? She's going in later. So for Steel type, Duraludon's great, but wait till you get your evolution, buddy. Corporage is also awesome. But we are going to put in Hisuian Gudra, which I love. Fairy type, this is where we're getting the crown sword herself. I don't like Armorous. The only thing that competes with her here is Hatterene. I like Grimmsnarl, don't get me wrong, but I like Hatterene a lot more. But we've already got Hatterene in Psychic, so we're putting in the Sword Dog. Favorite starter? Hisuian Decidueye is cool. Hisuian Samurot's cool. I think I'm still picking the Typhlosion, though. I like the Fire type. We have literally, I think, got the Fire type for every single gen apart from 4. Gen 4, we have Torterra. Everything else is the Fire Star. Gimmick form. It's Hisuian Lilligant, isn't it? Yeah. Favorite legendary. This one's actually tricky. I'm gonna put Origin Dialga. I like a lot of those. I like the dogs. I prefer sword to shield, but I like them both. I like the 3 Galar birds, as I said, but I think Origin Dialga just kind of slightly edges them out. For my favorite of the lot, this is comfortably between Hisui and Lilligant and Hatterene. It just is. I adore both of them. It's going to be Hisui and Lilligant, though. That was very, very close between the two. But I really like Hisui and Lilligant. Gen 9 now. My, honestly, personal favorite gen. I really like Gen 9. For normal type. Cyclozar? I've not had a chance to use Blood Moon Ursaluna yet. It's cool. I think I not like normal more, though. Terrapagos is awesome. Don't get me wrong. I have surprisingly amount of respect for the pig. I'm not a big Mousehold guy. Billy. I know a lot of people love Billy and the Dunsparce. I've never been the biggest fan. Let's go Cyclozar. Bike Dog. Fire type. It's Gouging Flame. Gouging Flame or Ogapod. I love everything here. For reference. Every single one of these fire types is amazing. It's Ogapod. It is Ogapod. I'm sorry, Gouging Flame. You're amazing, but... Water type is Walking Wake. Yeah, that's not really a competition. I like Tatsugiri. I like Dondozo. I hate the bird. Palafin's neat. Ogapon Water is great as well. Like, it's between these two. I like the Hydrotaurus as well, but I like Ogapon Water, but I really like Walking Wake. I also, Hearthflame Ogapon is my favorite of the Ogapon forms, for reference. That's the only reason. I prefer Gouging Fire to Walking Wake. But I prefer Hearthflame Ogapon to Water, and I prefer it to either of them. For Grass type, I'm tempted to just pick Ogapon, but it feels disingenuous. I like Meowscarada, okay? It's not my favorite starter of the lot. I prefer Skeledirge, but I like Meowscarada, so let's pick the cat. Electric type. Oh, it's between these two. I like Iron Hands a lot. I like Iron Thorns a lot. But it's between Miraidon and Raging Bolt, and I think I prefer Raging Bolt. I love them both, but... Ice type. Now, this one is tough. Ice types in Gen 9 are amazing. I like Satitan, okay? Just let me get that out of the way. Satitan's great. I like the Iron Delibird. It's fine. But for me, this is clearly between two. Chen Pao, the Sabertooth, which I love, or Baxcalibur, the pseudo-legendary, which is based on Gigan from the Godzillas. And I think it goes to Bax slightly. Mostly because I think Chen Pao's going... Oh, that's actually... Okay, we'll worry about that later. Fighting type is this? Yeah, fighting. So this, to me, is a really, really tough one. I love Great Tusk, and I love Miraidon. I also like... I really, really like Annihilate, by the way. But I think... I'm really sorry, Great Tusk. You might go in ground, actually. Yes, you're going to win ground. Okay, so never mind. Miraidon, you're both going to be on the list. That's fine. Poison type. It's Claude. I like Pecharunt and the Loyal 3. Don't get me wrong. I think they're all pretty neat. You're my least favorite of the Loyal 3. But I like Clodsire. I love Clodsire. I knew it had to be on there. Great Tusk. Comfy, best ground type of the of Gen 9. This is dark. Oh, this is flying type. I don't really like any of the flying types. I guess we'll go Iron Jugulus. It's worse Hydreigon in every way, for reference. I'm not particularly happy to put it on here, but look at its competition. I don't like any of them. Psychic type. I think the Psychic type is comfortably Armor Rouge. I like Iron Boulder. a lot. I like the Musketeers. The mechanical Musketeers are much better than the originals, but I didn't like the originals at all. So, Armor Rouge. Bug type. Yeah, it's Slitherwing. That's not even close. Rock. I have used a Rock Ogerpon. It is great. I like Claw. I like Iron Thorns. I like Boulder. It's gotta be... Oh, I love everything here, actually. I like every single one of these rock types. We're going with Garg. I love Garg. I've not really used Garg much. Garg feels unfair to use a lot of the time, but it's great. Ghost type. Ceruledge is amazing. Annihilate is amazing. Fluttermane. Oh, shit. Some of my favorites are going to get missed out on this one. I love so many of the Pokemon from Gen 9. Yeah, okay. So what I'm going to do, Skeledirge is in here. Dragon type? I'm really sorry, Gouging Fire. You're my favorite of the three, but you're not going to get put in. Actually, you can't use Legendary. Not a Legendary, okay. Never mind. Dragon, I'm going with Moon. I really like Roaring Moon a lot. It's arguably my favorite Paradox. I really like them all. Oh, actually. Wait a minute. No, we can do this. Okay. Gouging Flame can go in Dragon. I like all of these, by the way. Some I like more than others. Like the Tatsus are the worst. I love Hydrapple as well, by the way. But Dark type. I realize that I prefer Roaring Moon to the Dark types. Steel. I'm really sorry, Archaludon. You're one of my favorite pseudo-legendaries, by the way. I really love Archaludon. But we gotta put Fluttermane somewhere, and Fluttermane's gotta go in Fairy from now on. So, we're gonna put my favorite Pokemon from Gen 9 in Steel, which is Tinkaton. I love Tinkaton so much. I love Kingambit as well, by the way. Not a huge Golden fan. It's good, sure, but I don't really like it. Fairy type, I've already said, we're putting Fluttermane. Elphaba, my shiny Fluttermane, is definitely going in Fairy. I love Fluttermane so much. Favorite starter is Skeledirge. I love Meowscarada a lot. I think, genuinely, the Water starter is the only bad starter in Gen 9. I think the other two are top tier. Favorite gimmick form... They don't actually count the Paradoxes, which is good to know. I like Fire Tauros. I'll go with that. Favorite Legendary... I love Chen Pao, but I like Miraidon. Actually, no, Hearthflame... It's Hearthflame Ogerpon, is it? Yeah, it's Ogerpon. As for my favorite, I'm really sorry to all these amazing Pokemon, but it's Tink. I adore Tinkaton! It's between Tinkaton and Ogerpon. They are two of my favorite Pokemon of all time. I love Gouging Fire. I love Roaring Moon. I love Miraidon, Koraidon. I love everything here. But it's them. Okay. So now, we are going into the final roundups. Favorite normal type. Of the ones here, which I have picked, I think it's Obstagoon. I genuinely love Obstagoon. So. Fire type. I love everything here. Genuinely. Every single fire type is top tier that is on here. But I gotta go with my boy. It's Charizard. Water type. It's Milotic. She's my favorite water type for a reason. Grass type. Hisuian Lilligant. I'm sorry to everything else here, but I love Hisuian Lilligant so much. Electric type. This is actually an interesting one. I think it's Raging Bolt. Ice type. Is it still Glaceon? It's between Glaceon and Alolan Ninetales. I think it's still Glaceon. Favorite fighting type on this section, Miraidon. Favorite poison type? I'm sorry, Scolipede. You're great, but I love Toxapex too much. A favorite ground type? Garchomp. Not even close. Favorite flying type? Rayquaza. Not even close. Sorry to everything else, because you're all great. It's Rayquaza. You were losing that match. Psychic type. It's Latias, isn't it? Yeah, I like Latias a lot. This bug. Favorite bug type is Volcarona. I like everything. I like all of them. But it's Volcarona. Favorite rock. This is tricky. This is genuinely difficult for me. Because it's between Tyrantrum and Tyranitar. I think I slightly prefer Tyranitar. I like them all. Don't get me wrong. Hisuian Avalugg is the worst by far on this one. I like Tyranitar. Sorry, Tyrantrum. I love you. Favorite ghost? I like Frostlass. I just do. Oh, we're putting the favorite dragon. Because we actually missed out on my 2 favorite dragons by putting them in different categories, I think it's Salamence. I like them all, though. Every one of these dragons is amazing. Favorite dark type? Them, Roaring Moon, probably. I love them all, but I like Roaring Moon. Favorite steel type? Tinkaton. I love all the rest of these, but I love Tinkaton. Favorite fairy? It's between Fluttermane and Gardevoir. I think I prefer Gardevoir slightly. It's very close. Favorite starter Pokemon is Charizard. That's not even close. Favorite gimmick form? Mega Rayquaza. Favorite legendary is Rayquaza. Favorite Pokemon? Rayquaza. And that is my list of my favorite Pokemon, guys. That is a really cool lineup. Genuinely. Preference of that one, Rayquaza or Garchomp. Either of these. But go Rayquaza. It's basically Garchomp, Rayquaza, Charizard. They're my 3 favorites. I love every one of those Pokemon there, but team. A favorite regional bird. Let's do these bottom ones. We're way over time, but let's do this. Of these, I like Rookidee. Favorite regional mammal. Favorite regional mammal, is that the name? I guess. Galarian Zigzagoon. Regional bug. I like the baby. I like a baby Scolipede. I like Grubbin as well, but I like Vikavolt significantly more. I like the little baby one. Favorite pseudo legendary is Garchomp. I love a lot of these as well, but it's Garchomp. Pikachu clone. Is Mimikyu on here? Probably Mimikyu. It's between Mimikyu and Morpeko, and I like Mimikyu a little bit more. Favorite evolution is Glaceon. I love Vaporeon as well. Favorite fossil? Tyrantrum. Not even close. Regional form. Is it Sween Lilligant? Sween Lilligant or Sween Arcanine? Or Lilligant Ninetales. But no, I think it's Sween Lilligant. G-Max, Charizard. Favorite Babu. El Babu. I like Mantic. I like the baby Mantine. Favorite box legendary is Rayquaza. Favorite mythical is Celebi. Is there anything that competes here? No. Oh, Shaman does, I suppose. Favorite Ultra Beast? I like Guzzlord. I like Pheromosa a lot as well, but favorite Paradox? Roaring Moon or Fluttermane. Oh, Miraidon's on there too. This is Gouging Flame. Do I prefer Gouging Flame or Roaring Moon? That's tough, actually. I gotta prefer Roaring Moon. Favorite type is Dragon. For Pokeball, I really, really like the Heavy Ball, actually. For its Spinder, I don't fucking care. That one. For Vivillon, I literally did this earlier. I like that one. Alcremie, I like that one. That one looks cute. Oh, raspberries. Favorite new evolution of a Pokemon. Archaludon. It's between Archaludon and Glaceon. It's very close. But I really like that. And yeah, again, that is my list of my favorite Pokemon. I've finally done one of these. This is going to be uploaded onto my YouTube next week, by the way. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I am massively over time. But this was a lot of fun. I've been meaning to do one of these for a very long time. And I'm happy I finally got to do it. Genuinely. So, yeah. I am happy. I love Pokemon. Genuinely. It started actually getting difficult towards the later ones because there are so many Pokemon I genuinely like out of a lot. But you can't have everything. But I like a lot of them. Yeah. So I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Have a fantastic evening, everyone. Keep playing video games. Keep being awesome, guys. All the best on Twitch. Enjoy yourselves, guys. See you tomorrow for a quick stream of we'll have about an hour before Pathfinder. So see you guys. Have a fantastic time. Good night. See ya.